Welcome, guys and girls. Stefan from Fiskeshoppen Mörrum. I'm gonna tie a fly for you from our new book. This fly is a fly pattern from a guy called Jani. Jani has fished a lot of years in Mörrum. If you knew how many years he had fished, you wouldn't believe how young he is. Doesn't add up. But Jani is a great fisherman that fishes a lot and through the whole season. And I'm gonna tie a fly that we have called the Grinch. And we've called it a Grinch only due to the color of the wing here. So yeah, I'm just gonna talk you through what I have prepared here already. As you know, in the cooking shows, they always have something prepared and ready to go. I have tried to do that here as well. But this is basically a 1.85mm clear plastic tube that I have glued together with a 3mm. This one is a glittery outer tube. And then I've wrapped some wraps around with my tying thread here, just to secure it a little bit more. 6mm US tubes. It's just one tube for a little balance and weight in the fly. That one I just need to glue to here. So that I forgot in all my preparations. So let's get started. Let's just let it dry up a little bit. I'm gonna put this one aside. This is a sunker fly, and we're gonna use some opossum sunker, but you're gonna see that a little later. We're gonna start out in the end of the fly. This is hard to see because my thread is a little less. It's hard to see it because it's so clear, but I think it should be fine around here. The first thing we're gonna do is use some silver tinsel just to make a little tag on the fly. And I'm not cheap on the material, so I just take a bunch of silver tinsel right here. Then it's a tag, so we don't need to do a lot of rounds with this one. But I still want to do it. It's okay. So 1 or 2 times around there, 3 maybe, yep. Let's cut it off. Then to the more important part. Let's just see so it didn't move. I don't think so. The butt, Chinese red uni yarn. If you don't know it, you know it by now. Just gonna keep it quite close to the tag. So we don't want more than that. Just let's secure it a little bit like this. Can cut this bit off. I'll pull this one over. So it stays where it should be. So that was the 2 sections right there. Now we're gonna use some Mirage tinsel here. I'm gonna pull out quite a long bit because I'm not sure how many times I have to run it over. That's pretty fine. I just start wrapping. This can feel like it's gonna take forever, but just wanted to fill it up quite good so it doesn't get a lot of the color of the tube under. But the cool thing about this Mirage tinsel is that it gets a really nice color from having the glittery under. I think Jani he actually ties this with the olive tube, but I just wanted to mix it up a little bit and do it with a glittery one. This is a fly you can actually use it the whole season. You can tie it in different sizes. This size I'm gonna tie here is a typical spring fly. And it has a mix of these colors that we use a lot in Mörrum. What can you say, like the dirty yellow, golden olive. There's a lot of names to them. And the olive, the orange, we use that a lot. The next part of the fly here is gonna be a quite bulky part. I'm gonna use some long hair. It's not a material that we use a lot in salmon flies, but it's actually not a bad thing because it adds a lot of bulkiness to your fly and has great movement. So we can call this a front part, or the front body. First part was this Mirage. I'm just gonna try to wake them up a little bit, the fibers here. This I'm not gonna wrap these super tight into one another because it easily fills the fly up a lot. So I'm just gonna keep a nice so that's enough. So this is easily afterwards. It's easy to like pull them a little bit and get them a little longer and more tapered. But as you see, it looks really bulky, but you have to keep in mind this is also a fly for the springtime fishing, so it doesn't really matter that is a big one. First thing I'm gonna do is tie in a small piece of opossum in this golden olive color. I'm gonna use that as a sort of underwing. Oh, it is an underwing. So next thing is that you could actually put your other wing directly on here and then add some flash on the top. But on these opossum flies, I like to make the first piece of flash and before I put the longer wing on, so it comes a little bit under that one. Then it's more visible and from beneath. This is just some pearl glisten glow flash that I'm gonna tie in. Just make sure it's tight. I'm not gonna make these super long, it's just gonna be a little bit here on the under side. And you see at least this is gonna be visible from beneath here when we're now gonna put on a bigger wing. And I've been so clever that I have prepared my Songo wings. And you see I try to cut them so they get tapered. Because that's what you want. If you want this type of shape to a fly, you need to cut them in a nice tapered way. So I'm just going to put it on top and see that it is placed the way I want it. I'm going to spread it a little bit so it gets a little sort of like a hackle. I'm not going to push it all the way around, but I'm going to keep it a little bit on the sides here. I'm going to pull hard with my thread, make sure it's really stuck to the tube here. This is not the typical Mörrum fly as you would think when you think about a fly from Mörrum, but I can tell you this fly is really, really good for spring fishing. for fresh run sea trout. That was a hard thing to say. Of course it works for salmon as well. I know that Jani has caught some nice salmon on this one also. I'm really not that nervous about having all this material right here. I'm gonna have a front hackle soon. Just gonna see that I'm satisfied with the wing. This is something that I spend a lot of time doing when tying wing flies. I really want it to be in the place where I want it. And this is fine enough for me. Some dark gold, glisten glow flash. A little bit too much, just 2 strands. I'm gonna try to keep them a little bit on the side of the opossum wing. Not completely on top, but a little bit on the side. Something like this here. Just again, really put some hard pressure on my thread here. So yeah, I'm gonna choose a front hackle now. I want an orange front hackle, or it is an orange front hackle on this fly. You can choose a soft hackle if you want to. Maybe for, yeah, well, the water is running a little slower. It could be nice to use a soft hackle, but I prefer using a cock hackle. This one also because I already got a Songa wing and it's got a lot of great movement in it, even in the quiet water. So this is really just like to add some color that breaks all the other color combinations. So an orange cock hackle here, it's gonna be fine, I think. Just gonna make sure you pull those fibers backwards when you start winding. And also you want a sizable. You want a hackle that matches the size of your fly, so you don't get too short a hackle, because it looks a little bit better when you have a big hackle. This is a fly that would easily be a first choice when fishing in springtime in Mörrum. You actually get a little vibe from another classic, or a classic salmon fly, as we know, like the Cascade with these colors here. Yeah. Now it's just me dreaming away a little bit. So I'm just not gonna build any head or anything. I'm just gonna make sure that the hackle is secured, just like that. And then I'm just gonna make a couple of easy knots around here. And then of course I pulled in a couple of hot strands there. So to finish the fly off, I'm gonna use what is it called, this one? This is a drainer disc, 6mm drainer disc in fluoro orange. So first, before I put it on, I just want to see that I can really squeeze it up there. Okay, fine. Cut this one off. And then something that I not often use as a finish on my flies, but this is in order to keep the drainer disc in place as well. I'm going to use some super glue. So it's right in place, and as you see, some would probably think, oh, there's a little gap in between the drainer and the hackle. Yes, there is, but actually sometimes if you have a hackle and you want it to stand a little bit like this, keeping that gap, you don't squeeze the hackle. I mean, you don't pressure down the hackle, so you still get the hackle to have that standing up thing. Then you can, of course, wait a little bit until the glue has dried. Otherwise, cut it off get yourself your lighter, as I forgot. So you can burn a little color on it and get it ready to go. But this is the Grinch, Jani Barna, famous Mörrum angler, and always has great ideas for flies. And I'm pretty sure that there's a great thought behind this one as well. Thank you.